It took me like 2 weeks to genuinely, completely change my life. Genuinely, with the permission of Allah. I still remember that one day, that one night, and I'm gonna give you the entire story, but that one night that happened, it took me 2 weeks. I'm telling you, brother, sister, whoever is, whatever Muslim or non Muslim even is watching this video, I wanna bluntly say that you can literally change your surroundings. You can change your mindsets, your goals, your vision, your bad habits in 2 weeks. I know it sounds absolutely mind boggling. I know it sounds crazy, but you can take control of your nafs. You can take control of your life in just 2 weeks by following the same protocol that I followed. And I'll be honest, right? My videos, it's just me explaining what I did, what I went through, and going through. Okay, like, I don't want to speak about other people. I don't want to speak about some scientific studies. I want to speak about me. I want to speak about how I changed. I only speak about things from my experience because I realize that's when I can give the best help, the best advice based off what I've done. And also, that is what creates that trust, right? Like, if I just spoke about, like, oh, scientific studies, like, that doesn't help anyone. You know what helps someone change? When they're failing university, just like me. I don't know if many of you know, but this is a recent exposing. Like, I recently exposed myself. I exposed myself how? Because I was genuinely failing university. By the way, if you didn't know, came a point in time in the first year, first semester. So remember, I just went into university. I was so excited, right? And a couple of months later, it was like, before the exam period, it was like around November of 2022. I still remember, around November to December, I was failing most of my classes, and my GPA was below the actual GPA that will keep you out of probation. What probation is, by the way, if you don't know, probation is literally when your marks are so low, they restrict how many classes you can take, and if you stay in probation for long enough, you will get kicked out of university. I was in probation. I remember that one night day, I think the school advisor called me. She's like, okay, I need you to book an appointment with me. I need to talk to you. And I remember walking into a room and hello, hi, whatever. And then of course she was just like, look, Rayan, like, you need to get serious. And I was like, I know. But like she was genuinely like, no, like, you will get kicked out. Like no, like and then she was like telling me, like, what do you do every single day? Like, what do you have a job? Do you have, anything like to work on? Like, is anything, do you have any family issues? Is there any time taking, like, like she's going through my life. She was asking me about my life, and I just told her, like, I don't have a job. No, there's no family issues at home. I have 8 hours plus free every single day. And she was just like, you have all of this time free every single day. What is making you fail university? And that was one of the first times someone had called me out. That was one of the first times someone had told me, like, wait, you have no job, no responsibility. You have nothing that's gonna just really taking up your time, and you're telling me that you're failing? You're telling me that you're on probation? It's one thing if I was an 18-year-old back then. It's one thing I had a job, I had a very big, hardship I was going through that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent. Maybe like, I had to take care of my family or something. Like, okay, that made sense. But but you're telling me that I was a kid, privileged, in the same room that I'm making this video in, and you're telling me that I was this kid who had every single thing in his life, free time, free everything. That's when I realized, like, something probably needs to change. It wasn't even the university that made me change. It wasn't university. The thing that made me change with the qadr of Allah Azza wa Jal was seeing my life get wasted, seeing how incapable I felt, seeing how weak I felt, and specifically seeing how hard my parents were working just to keep me alive. And I was here living as if nothing mattered in this world. Like, all I wanted to do was have fun and fun and fun and fun and fun and fun. And I didn't realize all of the pressures my dad, my mother had to go through. The exact way that I did. That the way that I ended up realizing that my main culprit, what was my main issue? My main issue was not scrolling. My main issue was not video games. My main issue was not other haram habits and sins And my main issue wasn't wasting time. That wasn't my main issue. My main issue was me running away from reality. That was my issue. I ran away from the real work. I ran away. I ran away from what was required. I took the easy path every single time. I took the easy way every single time. That was my main issue. That was my main culprit. That because I ran away from myself, because I ran away, I took the easy path every single time. All I focused on is pleasure, 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 pleasure. Never learned how to work hard, never achieved anything in my life, never helped my parents. I was never the hardworking kid. You know how some kids are just hardworking, they help their parents, they go out to for groceries. I never had any responsibility growing up. And so my biggest issue was the fact that I just ran away from work because I had no responsibility over my life. But deep down, I knew, like, okay, sure, I was running away from work, and yeah, but I deep down, I knew how incapable, how dumb, how much of a failure I felt every single day. Deep down, I knew that, like, what the heck are you doing? I wanted to be more successful. I wanted to be more of a better student. I wanted to be a better son. I wanted to be more. Actually, I genuinely wanted to be more mature. Like I used to search up how to become more mature back then, because I wanted to become more mature. I wanted to be seen as someone like someone doing something, like someone like not childish anymore. And this is exactly what I did. The way I was able to change all of that, like those mindsets that like so deep. And again, I only explained a little bit of the story. I'm not even explaining the sins I did. I'm not even going through the amount of sins I did. How addicted to us I was to some sins. How I went to such an extreme to these sins. Like, I'm not even gonna talk about how disgusting that was. And there came a point in time when I was just like, okay, something needs to change. So a lot of people are gonna make these videos and they're gonna say, yeah, all you need to do is just make a routine and you need to wake up at 5 a.m. and you need to do this. But there has to be a reason why you're gonna do all of that. That's what people don't talk about. That people on YouTube, they say, yes, guys, we're gonna have the biggest glow up of our lives. We're gonna glow up and we're gonna. No, no, no. There has to be a reason why. What is your reason? What is your why? I'll give you that reason. You don't need to even think about it. The reason is because there comes a point in time when you need to stop running away from your work, when you need to stop running away from your life. Because if you do that, I'm telling you, and I'm gonna promise you this one thing: you are going to end up such so miserable in the future. You're gonna be absolutely worthless to the world. I know it's harsh. I know what I'm saying is harsh, but you're gonna be worthless to the world. I don't even want to know what it feels like to be truly valueless. There's so many people in our society that are like 30 years old, 40 years old, and they're valueless. Like they feel valueless. No wonder why people are offing themselves. No wonder why people are suiciding. One of the symptoms of depression and one of the reasons why people end up suiciding. I know it's deep, but one of the reasons why people end up suiciding is because they feel valueless. I'm useless to the world. No one wants me, and like I'm lonely and I'm valueless. That's one of the biggest reasons why. So I don't even want to know how truly being valueless feels like. I really don't. May Allah protect us from that. But why do people become valueless? Because they have nothing to give to the world. They aren't giving others value. Obviously, that's why you become valueless. I'm sorry, but that's how humans work. If you are not valuable to someone, why would they be there for you? I know it would be amazing if we just say, yeah, I know I want to make friends and I should have friends and loved ones just because who I am. That's great. And again, your parents will still love you no matter how valueless you are to them. But to the rest of the world, maybe to your cousins, to your friends, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work. They're not gonna intrinsically love you like your parents. And even then, even if you are valueless to your parents and they still love you, you can still see in the back of their minds, you can still see in their faces that they're disappointed of who you are. That's how I felt every single day. I still feel like that to this day, honestly. I haven't done much, but I guess they've seen me grow a lot the past 2 years. So the way I was able to change is not just create a routine or copy these habits, 7 habits. No, it's the way I was able to change fully. And I'm gonna speak about what I did was I changed the mindset, my mindset. I changed my identity. Identity, you have to look at identity. Okay, look, I know you can't look at it, but identity is the most important thing that one needs to actually change for good. I'm telling you right now. I'll give you this example that I always talk about. The example of, imagine it's New Year's resolution and someone wants to lose weight And imagine it's like a 40-year-old uncle from like your Pakistani household, a Bengali household, like a 40-year-old uncle. Yeah, let's call him like Uncle G, for example. I'm not even Pakistani, but whatever. We'll call him Uncle G. Yeah, imagine Uncle G's like, I want to lose weight. Let's go, right? And I'm not trying to be racist, by the way. And then he goes on this big diet and like he's like, yes, so I will be eating only vegetables and only clean foods from now on. Yeah. And then what happens? 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, he gives up. Like everyone else on New Year's resolution. The first day of the gym is so packed and full. 3 weeks later, it's normal. It's normal again. What are the two differentiators? How come Uncle G couldn't change? Why? Uncle G couldn't change because he was like choosing new habits and he was having a new goal without changing his identity. Because currently, Uncle G's identity is he doesn't like eating healthy food. He has to change his identity, his mindsets, his belief systems, literally systems about food in order for him to start liking healthy food. I realized that this junk food is what's keeping me depressed because it's overstimulating my brain. It's what's keeping me lazy. It's what's keeping me unable to focus on my work. It's what's keeping me literally unable to get out of my bed. Because why? It gives you so much brain fog because you're so addicted to just eating dopamine. Food is one of the biggest killers of people, by the way, because you're so used to eating dopamine, like literally a bunch of quick dopamine, like burgers and stuff like that, right? Your brain isn't able to think long term anymore. Your brain just wants quick dopamine all the time. So someone who is very overweight, who eats a lot of bad food, is more likely to do other bad habits and sins like cigarettes and other stuff because of the fact that they're so used to quick dopamine that doing anything hard is just hard. So like you'll see them like they'll do other bad things as well because they're used to quick dopamine. It's not about like going on a new diet for 3 weeks and then giving up. It's not. It's more so about changing your belief systems about like food and everything. So like you completely change. So Uncle G, what he has to do is he has to look at the foods and change his belief systems to not want junk food anymore. Okay? And it's the same way with every single habit. So when I changed my identity, what I was changing from is someone who kept running away from work, who kept running away from the hard work necessary, who kept running away and taking the easy path, who kept self sabotaging on bad habits. What I did was I started to do what you call micro discipline. Micro discipline is like a term I made up, right? What that is in order to completely change, you have to slowly transition to another lifestyle. And the way you do that, for example, is like imagine, right? Imagine if you're in my situation, how I was 3 years ago, okay? And you're finding it really hard to change and stay productive and whatever. 100%. We were all there at one point. For you to now start working 7 hours randomly on a whim, maybe if you could do that for one day, but for you to continuously work 7 hours, it's going to be extremely difficult because you haven't changed. What you do with micro discipline is you change every single area of your life. You remove the bad influences, the bad dopamine, the instant dopamine in every area of your life, or as much as you can, to completely change your mindset to always seeking long term dopamine, long term gratification, something that you earn, something you achieve. So, my mindset, by the way, it went from like just running away from my work and like drowning myself in quick dopamine, quick habits to like making my bed every single morning. Like that's cool. Like that gives me some level of consistency, discipline. Waking up a little bit earlier every single morning. Not using my phone in the morning every single morning. It started off with like these small things, literally cleaning my clothes. And if I can do all these small things, the micro discipline activities every single day, all of a sudden, I'm slowly changing how I view dopamine. I'm slowly telling my brain, you don't need quick dopamine anymore. You know, you've just leveled up. So it's really not really about like you're gonna run 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. No, rather, it's about incorporating discipline in every single area of your life. It's about incorporating some level of like hard work in every single area of your life. Small bits of hard work, not big hard work. Small bits of hard work, which all adds up to one identity. Like you can choose the comfortable path and not make your bed in the morning, or you can make your bed in the morning and it will be so much better. And then the next thing I did was what I call the man's way protocol. So in my school community, amazing brothers. Wallahi, like one of the best things I've ever done with the permission of Allah was create this school community, because there's so many brothers that are on self-improvement, that are just willing to change and improve. There's like so many things in there, like productivity courses and how to actually level up as a Muslim for good permanently with a group of brothers is absolutely amazing. And in that community, I created a specific protocol. This protocol is exactly what I did to stay on self improvement and and improve myself permanently, which was the man's way protocol. What the man's way protocol is, what I did is specifically, I realized that for me, I'm trying to focus on four pillars of my life: fitness, deen, business, and learning. Learning about the deen, learning about life, learning about self improvement, learning about the human biology, and like just becoming a lot more knowledgeable in that sense. Also, the deen, seeking knowledge to the best of my ability, learning from reliable like shayukh and stuff like that. Also, my physique, and also my business, deep work, making money, becoming financially independent, helping my parents, not needing to think about what I want to buy. So all of a sudden, when I implemented this specific protocol into my life, which I recommend every single one of you to implement this protocol if you want to be purposeful Muslims, living with a purpose, seeing yourself improve every single day, is this. When I implemented this thing, all of a sudden I changed my identity from a weak Muslim to like all of a sudden a Muslim who achieves greatness in every single area of his life, who's gonna be financially independent, who's gonna be close to Allah with his deen, his mind's gonna be strong because he keeps learning, he has a good mindset, and also he's physically attractive. He's physically confident. He's there. He feels more valuable to people. People hold him with more value. People see him with that's exactly what I want to feel. One of the reasons why I'm building a physique is to like it's a physical representation of my mind. It's a physical representation. It shows me as someone who's more successful. It's getting me more respect. It's getting me more value. Just genuinely one of the reasons why I'm building my physique is because I want to feel strong. I want to feel attractive. I want to feel big. And I know that 98% of husbands, they never have a sick physique for their wives. They never have a good physique for their wives. And this is why the women are so disappointed with the men. This is why you see in statistics that most marriage rates, they end in divorce from the woman. The woman end in divorce. 80% of the time, the woman file for divorce. And I'm not saying the physique will fix that, but I'm saying that we need to become more exceptional men. We need to become more exceptional people in order to to run society, in order to make the ummah strong, right? How else are we gonna make the ummah strong if we don't become strong? We are the ummah. We have to become strong for the entire ummah to be strong. As the Prophet ﷺ says in a hadith that the ummah is one body. If one body is aching, the entire body hurts. So that's we are all connected, interconnected with one another. This is why the kuffar are taking over. This is why the kuffar are taking advantage. This is why we're falling into the traps of the kuffar for no reason. They want us to be comfortable. They want us to be powerless. They want us to be distracted when they make all the money. Like, do you want that? And you know exactly who I mean by the kuffar. The ones that are dealing the big damage to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Those people with the small kufis on their head. You know exactly who I'm talking about now. I'm telling you, it's just like we are. They are just making us distracted. Yeah, they keep feeding us quick dopamine. Oh yeah, junk food, this, haram websites, scrolling, Instagram. Stay down there, so we can make money off of you guys. Do you want that? No. That's exactly what we're doing now. That's exactly how we're falling into their traps now. So what you need to do is you need to switch your mindset. You need to switch your mindset from the other mindsets I spoke about, but also this one mindset of like, I'm done running away from my problems. I'm done running away from my life, from the hard work. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch my mindset to I wanna now feel accomplished. Right? That was my main thing. Like I wanted to feel like I was genuinely doing something. I wanted to feel like I was taking control of my life. And I wanted to feel like instead of a boy who keeps running away from his work, I wanted to feel like a man who takes the hard work head on. And you realize that my purpose and my goal is just I want to really do something called the video game method. What that is I want to feel accomplished. in real life, that's like how I would do in a video game. In a video game, when you play video games, like your character is level 100, you're wearing like the best clothing, you have like the biggest physique, the most money, the most resources in a video game. In real life, it's the same thing. When I want to make sure like I'm good in all fronts of my life, I want to feel accomplished in all fronts of my life. And the way you do that is to use the man's way protocol, because it literally helps you feel more accomplished, because you're going to the gym, you're getting stronger, you're getting bigger. Instead of fake improvement in a video game, you're actually getting stronger in real life. People can see that. There's something called the halo effect for a reason. People can see that within you. Genuinely. So I go to the gym to feel like my strongest self, to represent myself as my best self, to represent myself. And all the difference is from my physique and your physique is that I've been going for a lot longer, and I've been staying consistent, and I've been following a plan, and I made sure that I'm not going to take the easy way out. That's the difference between my physique and your physique. I'm not saying I have the best physique, but I'm a lot better than I used to. The difference between me and you is just the continuous habits of I just keep going, I just keep showing up, I want to keep improving every single day. I'm not some like weird like YouTuber with like 20K subscribers, and like I'm so like stuck for like, may Allah forgive me, but like no, I'm literally just a regular person like you, a Muslim who's wasting his life, who's in the deep end. And all I did was just change. All I did was just choose to focus on delayed dopamine, delayed gratification. I want Muslims to live with purpose again. I want Muslims to have meaning in their lives. I don't want Muslims to keep drowning their lives into distractions and distractions and distractions. When it doesn't fulfill them, it only makes their life worse, and it only puts them in a more weakened state. The distractions were made to make your mind numb so that more distractions could come in. Who knows what the next distraction is going to be? We only see Instagram and stuff like that today. Who knows in a couple of years what they're going to come out with? We already see the Apple VR headset, whatever it's called. You know how scary that is? And the world thinks it's normal. The world thinks, oh wait, it's just the Apple headset that you can just wear and you can see everything. That's the point. Oh my goodness, do you guys not see this? Akhi, ikhwa, oh, like akhawat, like brothers and sisters, do you not see this? they're what they're doing is they're making you go into a fake virtual world, which we were doing this entire time, by the way. But they're trying to make you go into a fake virtual world when you can just wear a headset and you can see whatever you want, and you can pretend like you're in a dream world. You can pretend like you're in a crazy world, but yet in real life, you're still you. You still haven't changed. They're trying to make people escape their realities to make them stay the same, so that the people. Okay, would you ever see a small goofy person ever? And I'm not saying all of them are bad, whatever, doesn't matter. But would you ever see a elite, world elite, like people? Would you ever see them wear an Apple VR headset? Very rare. They probably wouldn't do that. Why? They got too much money to make. They got world plans to do. It's really like they look at us as like we're like peasants. Let me just keep feeding the peasants, whatever they want to get fed, and let us win. That's how it is. They look at us like peasants. Yeah, take your dopamine. Yeah, take your junk food. Yeah, take this. Yeah, you'll have so much fun. They're only making us weak. In the world of fun and pleasure comes weakness. They only numb their minds. One of the reasons why it's so easy to give into haram websites online, that the sin of corn. Everyone, a lot of Muslim brothers and maybe even sisters are struggling with this sin, and it's a big struggle. I'm telling you right now, it's a big struggle for every single Muslim man. I'm pretty sure they went through it once. Maybe it's more rare to not go through that as a man. But one of the reasons why it's so easy to fall into it is because our minds are already numb. Our minds are already too wired to seek quick dopamine and consume content. All we do is consume, consume, consume. Another big fitna of this ummah is that we just consume. We watch 20 different Islamic reminders every single day. How come we watch 20 different Islamic reminders every single day and none of us still change? Why? We hear taqwa, tawakkul, amazing. We don't still change. Why? Why do we hear all the reminders in the world? Why do we have more reminders than all the scholars had back then? And yet none of us change. Why? We're consuming. It's called fake self improvement. It's called fake productivity. You think you're being productive by watching Islamic content online, but you're not, because you aren't actually changing. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit mad with this stuff, but this stuff, like sometimes, like I get pissed off. If we don't change now, when? This could be another reminder for you, or this could be something that you can actually take heed on and actually change. Like this video with the mindset that I'm giving you, it could be another random Islamic video, or it could be something, you know, that you can actually change with. And I genuinely want you to change. I want you to join us. Our job, my goal, my mission, our mission with this channel is to remove mediocrity in the ummah. Is to get as many Muslims as possible out of the state of mediocrity. As to get as many Muslims as possible to live with purpose every single day. Is to get Muslims to have a strong mind. Is to get Muslims to focus on the real things in life. So that we can one day become a strong ummah again. This is my. May Allah keep me sincere on this journey. May Allah keep us sincere. But this is the exact protocol that I used. So, if you have any more questions or anything, follow me on my Instagram because I always post my stories. I always try to help people on there. I even reply to my DMs and everything. So if you want, if you have a question, DM me on my Instagram. Follow it. It's very valuable. I try to make it as much valuable as possible. Other than that, I love you for the sake of Allah. Hopefully, this benefited you, and I'll see you very soon. Assalamu alaikum.